Hi, so this video is going to be all about how we address longs attending in a class or in a group. As I mentioned in our intro, this was one of the things that Mum was very concerned about, to really learn effectively in a class. And one of those reasons is that they're very distracted, they're not watching or listening to what the teacher is doing, and they really worry like how this is going to affect their ability to learn the things that they're being taught in school. And they also worry that maybe the teacher may become unhappy, or that the school may feel like the child is not suitable to continue to learn in that kind of environment. So it's a very anxiety-provoking issue.
老師都話其實佢最大嘅問題真係唔望唔專心，佢係會周圍望，總之係側邊其他嘢係可以令到佢分心，佢就分心咗，佢就唔會望老師。即係例如上一個兒歌堂，佢已經走咗，一出位佢就翻唔到位嗰啲嚟，係啊。教人哋嗰啲就話啊，老師話佢今日進步咗好多，但係我個仔每日都打你話你啊，佢唔專心啊，坐唔定啊，會周圍走啊，每日都係呢啲 comment， 我會覺得都幾 depressed 嘅真係。
To try to address this problem, we targeted 3 core programs. The first program that we looked at is a game that we use for watching and visual tracking, and it's called Treasure Hunt. It's a very simple game, and it involves the teacher in the group to have an item that they're going to hide. And they can make this very simple by putting it under a box and asking the child where is it, and they come and get it. Or it can be very complicated, i.e. they're talking and describing about a story while they're holding an object, walking all around the room, pretending to hide it, which requires the students to really look at the teacher and what they're doing all the time for quite a long period. So we tried this program out at the very first day to see how he would do in the group. And this is a video of him doing the treasure hunt.
Ready, 我哋要準備揾 strawberry 啦！對，係啊！今次咧，等我睇下先。朗朗，你去揾啦。唔係喎，頭先個士多啤梨喎。
So you can see from the video, he's really not paying much attention to what the teacher is hiding. He's looking like completely in the other direction. So we wanted him to get good at this. I'm going to show you a series of videos which just basically encapsulates sort of the training process. And you'll see in the beginning, it's just a one-on-one. And we're hiding something under a cup, which is right in front of him. He doesn't really need to pay much attention at all, but he does need to watch for a very short period of time where the item is located. And then you'll see in some clips that we make this task more complicated. We start to put it on a board where, is more like what we're going to do in the classroom. We start to talk much more, which distracts him and makes the time longer that he needs to pay attention for. And then we start to move into the classroom setting, again in a one-on-one to practice the skills. And then finally, we're back in the class with lots of children doing that activity, and you'll see he's paying very good attention.
收埋車車啦，你學講開始。好啦，你去揾車車。哇！波波咧？耶！好犀利喎！哎呦，小心喎！我哋去掉啦。睇下先。係喎，係濕埋喎，朗朗你好叻喎！我哋睇下今次又擺喺邊度先。好緊張啊！唔知今次邊個小朋友幫我揾呢？不如朗朗你幫我去揾啦。我。
Another program we wanted him to teach him is a program called Slapjack. And this is also a visual attending task. And it's a very simple activity in the sense that when we put a picture on the table or we point at a picture on the board, that the object he's holding or the picture he's holding, he needs to go match. So it requires just a very simple matching kind of skill, but it does require an extensive amount of attending. Let's have a look at him, how he did with that in the group on the first day.
仲爭最後一個咧，我哋呢個床簿度就揾完啦。睇下先。哎呀，爭少少攞，指住咗啦，你都未擺上嚟嘅，有啲慢喎。哎呀，跌咗添。我哋又試多次先啦，你翻去坐低先啦。唔係啊，朗，你翻過嚟呢邊坐低啊。
He's not really paying attention to where teacher points at the objects on the board. He is walking away. The teacher can't get him to sit back down, and it's similar to maybe what Mum's reports where he's walking around the class. So very difficult to get him to participate. In this activity, we start again in a one-on-one setting. We're at the table where it's very easy for him to pay attention, and Ambrose gives him a card, and as he turns over the cards, he has to match, which requires him to pay attention for a pretty short period of time. We then move to, again, subsequent tasks that require him to have a much wider range of looking and watching. The period of time becomes much longer. You know, you can see how he's building his capacity to do these different tasks. You'll see at the very end, we put him back in the group. And his attention is very good. He's very sharp. He's waiting for that moment when the teacher is going to point at the object. So he's watching very closely and is very responsive to understanding what to do and completing that activity, which is also really good.
好，揾乜嘢？我想見到。OK， 好啦，睇下先。呢度咧有個冬菇亭賣嘢食嘅喎。咦？呢度咧妹妹咧就餵馬喎。跟住咧長頸鹿咧就望住佢哋啦。哇，係喎！次咧，我哋要玩士多啤梨咯喎，睇下咯喎。啊，除咗梨之外啦，我哋有啲呢啲食物都好健康嘅喎。係啊，飲，食完之後咧，我哋身體就會好健康嘅咯喎。叻仔啊！又有望實嘅喎，嗱，開始啦！好啦，我再睇下先，跟住咧，嗰個係啊，好勁啊！有人幫我揾翻啲氣球翻嚟啊！
We did one other activity which is not about watching, it's more about listening. And listening attention is also very critical. And in this activity, rather than looking at a picture, he's told a word and he has to remember the word. And then when we say that word, he needs to put the item in the box or put the card down and indicate now's the time, or he has to press a buzzer. So it requires you to have to listen everything the therapist says to wait for that moment when they say the word. So let's have a look at the baseline when he's given the word, and you can see he's not quite so good at remembering, you know, he goes off task.
我哋有雞仔入去瞓覺啦，跟住到貓貓、牛、羊。哎呀，係啊，牛又唔記得翻入去瞓覺，咁佢咪好攰咯，唔入去瞓覺。
I'll show you a couple of phases that we did to get him to learn how to do this. And we broke the skills down. And as we move through the phases, you'll see that we talk a lot more. He has to listen for a much longer duration of time. And also what he has to listen to is less discrete. It's actually like a sentence or a story. So it really requires a lot more degree of his attending and really listening much more carefully.
魚、蝴蝶、雞、烏龜、消防車。我哋睇下先。哇！我哋真係揾到個消防車，睇下。豬、貓、鴨、羊、牛。今日咧，我哋去咗超級市場買嘢，笑啦。跟住咧，我哋就搭巴士翻屋企啦。我哋繼續啦。跟住咧，我哋搭緊巴士嘅時候咧，係喎，又聽到。
So we were very happy to see his progress. Here's a few words Mum had to say also about how she felt about the group activities.
啲老師解釋個規則其實都好長。佢又明喎， 佢知道要自己係聽啲乜嘢 keyword， 然之後佢係真係成程係好專心去聽嗰個 keyword， 即係就算個老師係周圍行啲距離好大，周圍行佢都好留心。即係老師叫佢做嘢攞咩，佢真係攞翻嚟，好聽話。但原來見到佢有能力喎，原來佢真係可以有機會讀到傳統學校喎咁樣。
So, a good outcome for the 5 days on attending to group. Please take a look at the other video we made with Long, which is all about increasing his responsivity and his ability to follow instructions and stay on task with the therapist, but also with mum. Thanks a lot for watching.